Welcome back to our educational video series designed to help protect families properly. Today's topic is about ticking time bombs. I can't wait to hear about this one, so stay tuned. Larry Hoover joins us from Lewis Meyer Insurance Brokers. He offers a unique service called a policy audit, where he discovers the strengths and weaknesses and presents them into an easy to understand report. If you missed this video, it can be found on the link above. Today, Larry is going to share the ticking time bombs he found last year. Could this be you? So Larry, can you get us started by describing what a policy audit is?
Absolutely, and thanks for sharing this with me, Maureen, and good day all our viewers today. Yeah, I'm a little bit different than my 10,000 competitors out there in the province. I don't just say, hey, let me give you a quote on your home and auto and see if we can save you some money. Have you ever heard that before? Yeah, so again, I am different. So I say, let's see if you're properly protected, earning all the discounts you should be earning, and see if you're paying a fair price. So notice price comes at the end. So I ask people to send me the last renewal, their current renewal that they've got, whether it's a few weeks or 11 months old, I don't care. And I will create a report. I will put it on a spreadsheet. I will explain the coverages in plain language. And my best quote is going to be side by side with your current quote. And you're going to see red lines. The red lines are not good, and we're going to walk you through that.
Okay, so you find bad things in people's policies. What stood out to you last year?
Okay, very good. So there's 4 items I want to touch on here. And the first one is I identified 1 or more potential items where somebody could possibly hear claim denied. We're going to pay you 0. That was 85% of all the policies I audited last year could hear that. And that's the worst thing that you can hear from your insurance company, claim denied. You don't want to hear that.
No.
On top of that, number of policies where I heard 2 or more potential claim denied items, 55%, over half. That ain't good. And the grand prize winners at 6 items of potentially claim denied. 2 of them came in at 6, and 1 of them was a lawyer, and the other one was a realtor.
Yep.
So very interesting, the realtor, and lawyers don't like to hear stuff like this. So at any rate, I commonly find this stuff. So think about this. You pay thousands of dollars over the years, you get nothing for it, you have a fire, let's say it's $200,000-300,000, not a total gut. And then they say, oh, we're gonna pay you nothing. How are you gonna feel about that? Not very good.
Not very good at all, no.
Yeah, so a couple of examples, what I mean by potential claim denied. Number 1, on your house. And I'm finding this as well more frequently. You're getting a discount for a monitored burglar or fire alarm if it's monitored by a third party. So that could be like an ADT, TELUS Security, or what have you. More recently, we're finding services like Rogers Home Monitoring Services. So you get an app and it will send an alert to you or your spouse or whomever on your phone. Now, that is not monitored by a third party. That's monitored by mom and dad. So I see people getting discounts for that. You don't get a discount for that. That is a potential claim denied item on your home policy. On the car side, potential claim denied, and I often see this, and I see this sometimes even with realtors. Do you ever drive your car to meet a client anywhere?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it just goes hand in hand and so on. But I see this for other people as well too. And it says no. Well, guess what? That's not accurate. That's called misrepresentation, potential claim denied on your car.
Well, that's
so those are, yeah, so those are 2 examples that I see over there as well too.
Yeah, doesn't sound very good at all. So what else did you find?
Okay, here's number 2, missing 1 or more discounts. 36% last year of all the policies I audited were missing at least 1 discount. That is not good. So as an example, on the house insurance side, and we talk about this in another video, if you've replaced your roof or your furnace or your hot water tank, you get a discount. And hey, it's not much, but it's better than nothing. But very few people know about this, so they don't know to call their insurance person to tell them about these things. On the car insurance side, on this one just This one's really kind of humorous. In fact, I audited the policy of a couple several months ago, and on the car policy, it said next to her, M for married, and right below her name, her husband with the same last name, it said S for single.
Oh.
So,
I guess I'm not married.
yes, poor Grant was missing the married discount for a male car driver. So we did some rough math, and it looked like he overpaid by over $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, on one hand, we are responsible for updating this stuff with our insurance person, but on the other hand, your insurance person should be calling you at least every 2 years, but better every year, to ask you all these update questions on your house and your cars, because these things do change over time. So those are a couple of examples on the missing one or more discounts over there. Number three, grossly underinsured if you're sued. This one is very, very serious. It probably has more weight on the car insurance side. I have a number of sad stories where people did not have enough coverage when they were sued in a lawsuit. On the house side, we're looking at, this one's interesting, dog bites.
Oops.
I always ask, do you have a dog? Yes or no? What is the breed? Even if it's a poodle or a chihuahua, I write it down on the documents. There was a settlement in Toronto not too long ago where somebody was successfully sued and the settlement came in at $100,000 for a dog bite.
Wow.
Now, that person most likely did not have anything recorded that they had a dog and what the breed was. So theoretically, that person could have been out of pocket, probably was $100,000 on their own.
Oh my gosh, that's huge. That's huge.
And I know, and this is a question that people say to me, no one's ever asked me that before. And COVID has made it worse.
Right.
For two reasons. One, more people have been buying pets. And number two, dog behaviors have changed because they have not been used to having all the attention 24/7 in the house or the condo. So there are more dog bite claims. So that's a question. On the grossly underinsured car side, this one is even more serious because lawsuits on the car side are much, much higher. There was a fellow that I heard about was pinned against a wall. His car jumped a curb, and he pinned somebody against a wall who's now in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Now that lawsuit was settled at $3.75 million.
Did they have enough money?
No, most people have $2 million liability on your car insurance side. I see quite a few still at $1 million. That number is over 12 years old in our brokerage. We stopped selling that because it's just too low. So in this case, that driver was out if perhaps $1.75 million. So the way the courts work is that you have to start selling your assets, which means, Maureen, you're going to get a phone call. We have to sell our property or our properties and our other assets. And then the financial advisor gets a call. I cannot make my monthly payments to you anymore. And now it's time to start to collapse my savings and my retirement plans. After that, they start to garnish your income for the rest of your life.
Oh, that's terrible. That's awful.
All because people have not had the conversation with, what do I do, Larry, if I'm sued for millions? That's a separate conversation. We're going to have a separate video on that one. That's very, very important that most people have never heard of before.
That really messes up your life, doesn't it? Now, on both ends, terrible.
It does. It ruins lives. I tell people you only have to be sued once to ruin your life, and lawsuits aren't scheduled unless you're breaking the law. At any rate.
Yeah. So I'm afraid to ask if you've discovered anything else.
Yeah, it's all good news, isn't it?
Yeah.
The last point I want to mention is underinsured for what's called special items. So insurance companies often have a maximum amount they're going to pay you for things like jewelry, watches, collections, artwork, bicycles. So the question that I ask everybody is, if you had to replace all of those things tomorrow, what would the cost be for your jewelry, watches, and gems all in if you had to replace it tomorrow? Same with your bike, because there are companies that would only pay $1,000 for a bike. And I talked to a fellow last year. He said, I had a $16,000 bike that was stolen. And this is happening more during COVID as well, too, unfortunately. So we have to ask these questions. Also, I did an audit for a family who they had $35,000 of jewelry, and their policy only covered up to $6,000 for all of it, and up to $6,000 for the single most expensive item, which happened to be a $15,000 engagement ring. So one family I did this for, we calculated they would have been out $94,000 just on their jewelry and watches. So these are the questions that have to be asked because these things change over time.
Yeah, so I guess you need your policy to be a bit higher than the flat rate, right?
A lot of people, yes, but not everyone. But you
Yeah,
have to know, and most people don't know this stuff because they're not asked these questions.
that's true. That's true. So what's the next step if somebody wants a policy review?
Very simple. First of all, you send me your most recent renewal, whether it's 3 weeks old or 11 months old. Send me the pages that show your coverages and what you're paying for them. Plus on the car side, same thing, your coverages as well as the driver details. Part 2 is we'll have a call. I'll ask you some boring questions about those things. And then part 3, we will go over the results of your policy review, which will include my very best quote side by side in a column beside what you currently have today. And you're going to see red lines. And those are the things that you're going to want to get fixed.
So what's the next step if somebody isn't sure yet but wants to learn more?
Very good. 15-minute phone call with me. I believe my contact information is included on this email as well. My cell at 705-796-3299. And my email, Larry@policyreviews with an S on the end, .ca. And please check your junk folder because sometimes they end up there.
Never. Nobody's email goes into junk. Anyway, thanks again, Larry. And thanks for watching How to Better Protect You and Your Family. Let's protect others by sharing this. Please look for our next video. Thanks again.